Stand by for Titanfall.
Hey Titanfall legends, I'm Jaredude, the new co-host. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at the history of Respawn Entertainment, the developers of the Titanfall series. While the company was founded in 2010, its origin truly starts in 2002. Three men, Vince Zampella, Jason West, and Grant Coulier, had worked in the gaming industry at a couple studios but found themselves in Tulsa, Oklahoma at a developer called 2015 Inc. The three had finished Medal of Honor: Allied Assault, published by EA. They disagreed with some of the decision-making from Electronic Arts and decided to leave following the completion of the game. Together they founded Infinity Ward, the video game development studio that would become responsible for one of the most successful franchises of all time, Call of Duty. To get the studio started, they went to the publisher Activision with the pitch of creating a World War II game, a subgenre that had recently began to boom. With the accolades of their previous work and coming off of the highly praised Allied Assault, Activision agreed to invest into Infinity Ward. With a team of 25 people, Call of Duty was produced, released in October of 2003. Thought originally to just be a copy of Medal of Honor, critics instead commended the debut on being a well-polished, cinematic, arcade-like shooter. Activision rejoiced in this success and purchased the remaining 70% of Infinity Ward, making it a full-time in-house developer. They soon got to work on the sequel, Call of Duty 2. Notable changes include health regeneration and grenade icon indication. It was a more refined Call of Duty, with a better story, graphics, and sound. Released initially for PC in October 2005, and then on Xbox 360 in November, it would go on to sell 2 million copies within the first 3 months of it being released. It was another critically acclaimed game and a worldwide triumph. An alternate version of the game titled Big Red One was released on the original Xbox, PlayStation 2, and GameCube. It was developed by Treyarch and Grey Matter Studios, whom later merged into Treyarch. Although it shares the same title of Call of Duty 2, it follows an entirely different story, similar to Call of Duty Finest Hour, the first game's alternate entry. Treyarch would end up joining Activision and become a secondary studio to create Call of Duty titles. This would become the start of the annual release cycle. COD 3 was released in November 2006. Infinity Ward's next title would be the most ambitious yet, deciding to move on from World War II into modern times with a slew of new additions. The hype built up before release was certainly lived up to, introducing many core features the series is known for today, such as kill streaks, camos, perks, ranking/prestige system, and create a class and multiplayer. It attracted more players than ever before, with having an estimated 16 million copies sold as of late 2013. Paired with a strong set of new protagonists and story in the campaign, this game set a new standard and threw Call of Duty into the spotlight. And something worth noting is that sometime during the development of COD 4, Grant Coulier left Infinity Ward. For IW's follow-up, Vince Zampella and Jason West were initially unsure of a sequel to Modern Warfare, as they didn't want to tarnish the legacy of the game, and they thought they might not be able to live up to the first in the series. After negotiation with Activision and compensation in the form of total creative control of the Modern Warfare series and increased pay, they agreed to create MW2 for a November 2009 release. Originally wanting the title to just solely be Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty was added to the front to avoid confusing consumers. During the development, Treyarch's 2008 title, World at War, had lost a decent size of its player base, preferring to play COD 4. A popular thought among the community was that Infinity Ward was the superior developer at the time. The anticipation for Modern Warfare 2 was unmatched during the 2009 gaming season, paired with all new feature showcase, graphical updates, and one of the most controversial video game levels of all time, no Russian. The title became a focus of millions of gamers. Within 24 hours of release, 4.7 million copies were sold. This number would increase to over 23 million today. Zampella and West seem to be on top of the world, being the creators of a global phenomenon, praised and enjoyed by people everywhere. However, in March 2010, a few months after the release of Modern Warfare 2, Activision fired the two founders of Infinity Ward for insubordination and breach of contract. In response, they filed a lawsuit against Activision for wrongful termination, in combination of not receiving royalties or their $36 million bonuses. The main reasoning from the publisher was claims that the duo had been meeting and conspiring with other publishers, such as EA. During this time, a group of Infinity Ward employees also band together to file another lawsuit against Activision. both of the trials were dropped and private settlements from Activision were eventually made. Shortly after losing their jobs at Infinity Ward, Vince and Jason formed Respawn Entertainment in April of 2010 with the help of EA, who backed them during the lawsuit. 46 Infinity Ward employees left the studio. Of those, 38 were hired onto Respawn's team. They would now be brainstorming, then starting work on Titanfall. At E3 in 2011, EA Games label president Frank Gibeau said that the game in works would be a sci-fi oriented shooter. In April of 2013, Respawn trademarked the word Titan, starting the hype train. But just before the official unveil, Jason West left Respawn Entertainment and retired entirely. At 2013's E3, Titanfall was officially revealed for the first time, a breath of fresh air from the modern/near-future shooter subgenre that had been dominating at the time. With 3D movement, it was something different, it was something new. February 2014, the limited then public beta went live and was widely embraced. At one point being the most streamed game on Twitch, it was clear that Titanfall would be a success. On March 11, 2014, the debut was released as an Xbox exclusive on the One and PC, followed by a 360 version in April. It was a console seller for the Xbox One with a substantial increase in sales. The game's innovation of 3D movement based on momentum and an introduction of mechs and minions was a big change in the shooter market at the time. Unfortunately, within weeks of the launch, the player base saw a dramatic decrease in player count and continued to dwindle throughout the year. As of today, Titanfall has sold over 10 million copies, warranting a sequel, Titanfall 2, which was officially revealed by a short trailer on April 12, 2016. And prior to this, it was announced that Titanfall 2 would no longer be a console exclusive, as the first game was only an Xbox exclusive to get more funding from Microsoft, of which that deal was only a one-game deal, so Titanfall 2 will be released on PlayStation 4, as well as Xbox One and PC. At EA Play on June 12, 2016, both the single-player and multiplayer trailers were released, with the release date of October 28, 2016 slated. The sequel looks to aid the concerns of the first game, most notably an increase in content. It looks to be like Titanfall 2 could stay around a while after release. In May of 2016, a potential live-action television show based on Titanfall was said to be in the works. Also, a game totally separate from Titanfall, a third-person Star Wars game, was confirmed to be in development. Overall, through the valleys of Vince Zampella's career, he has managed to build incredible franchises. I myself have strong confidence in Respawn Entertainment continuing to have a bright future. This has been a history of Titanfall 2's development team. The question of the day is, what did you learn in this video? Feel free to answer in the comments below or silently in your head. Just please don't tell your brother. Thank you for watching. My name is Gerdude, and until next time, stand by for Titanfall.